Hi everyone and welcome to Petrichor Stories. In today's video, I want to talk to you about nutrition. Because we see food, we eat food, we want food and we prepare food. However, I do think that the more knowledge we have about nutrition, the better we'll feel, look, and of course be within our bodies and our minds. Let's dive in. Alright, just a heads up before we begin. In the description down below, I will be linking a blog post on nutrition that will be far more detailed in information and resources that you can use in order to see more about the things that we will be talking in this video. So, if you want to learn more, please check it out in the description down below. So, without further ado, let's begin. What is nutrition? Well, nutrition is everything that comes into our body in terms of food, drinks, supplements, medicines, and things that we take in that give effect into our body. So maybe your grandma has told you that you are malnourished. Well, that means that you are not taking in enough nutrition. But what is nutrition actually? Well, these are all the substances that we take in. If we take in enough good substances, we are healthy, we feel good. If we don't take in enough good substances, well, we don't feel good and we are not healthy. So, the two main categories of nutrition are macronutrients, which you may have heard of as macros. These are proteins, carbohydrates, and lipids or fats. And then there are the micronutrients. These are vitamins and minerals. These are things like calcium, potassium, sodium, and so on and so on. So, without further ado, let's start with the macronutrients. So, macronutrients, as I've mentioned, are proteins, carbohydrates, and lipids or fats. Okay, proteins are called the building blocks of our cells. They help us be strong, they keep our muscles dense. Proteins transport some major substances within our bodies. They act as enzymes in biochemical reactions, many functions in our body. However, many people think that they should consume quite a lot of proteins, and this results in overconsumption of protein, which is not good. In fact, overconsumption of any kind of macro or micronutrient is not good. So, even though the fitness craze has always been like protein, we should be mindful of proteins and consume them in the right amounts for us. So, where are these proteins? Where can we find them? How can we consume them? Well, proteins are two types. Animal proteins, which come from chicken, fish, seafood, cheese and other dairy products, eggs and things like that. And then there are plant-based proteins. Plant proteins are found in all legumes like beans, chickpeas, peas, also nuts, seeds, many vegetables like spinach, and so on and so on. You will find, as I said, a quite huge list in my blog post, so be sure to check it out. Okay, we've gone through the proteins. Now it's on to carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are those things that give us energy. You know, we need carbs when we are anxious, when we have so many things to do, because our body naturally craves the energy needed to do that. Carbs make us feel good, they make us feel happy, they help us release happiness hormones, and so on and so on. However, you might have noticed that when you eat a huge bar of chocolate, you get that energy burst, but then you become sluggish. Why is that? Well, because there is this type of carbohydrates that is called simple carbohydrates. Simple carbs or simple sugars are those that are contained in white sugar, brown sugar, corn syrup, white flour like cookies, bread, pasta made from white flour. Basically, those carbohydrates are released into your bloodstream really fast, and they cause a spike in your blood sugar, and then again a spike of insulin. So when your blood sugar goes up, you're like, yay, I can do everything, I can do everything. And then 20 minutes later, the insulin says, no, too much sugar, we need to chill down, and you feel sluggish. While on the other hand, there are those carbohydrates that are called complex. These complex carbohydrates are released into your bloodstream far more slowly, allowing for a steadier feeling of being energized. Let's take, for example, a cup of cereal with nuts and seeds. This will keep you satiated and energized for many, many hours because there is a lot of fiber that helps the sugars be released much more slowly. These sugars contained in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, in whole grain flours, in nuts, seeds, they are good for you because they give you energy that will continue on for many, many hours, and it will not cause a spike in your blood sugar and thus not cause a spike in your insulin levels. Alright, lipids. Lipids or fats are some kind of nutrients that many people are afraid of. You see, even this kind of insult that says you are fat. Well, no, you're not fat. You just have excessive fat accumulated around your organs and tissues. This is because maybe you have consumed a lot more fat than you have needed. But what kind of fat is that? You should understand that fats are two types: saturated and unsaturated fats. Yes, there are more complex ways to explain that, but for the purpose of this video, let's settle into those two types. So saturated fats are those fats that are more dense. They tend to stick to your organs, to your heart, causing heart disease, increasing lipid levels. These fats are the fats found in cheese, in ice cream, in fatty meats, in dairy products, and so on and so on. These fats, combined with sugars in many foods such as cookies, donuts, French fries, and things like that, they are very, very bad for your health. Of course, I'm not saying cut them all together, but limit them so that you can be healthier. Instead, you should focus on the good fats, the ones that stimulate the good cholesterol in your body. These are the unsaturated fats. These are avocados, avocado oil, these are olives and olive oil, many kinds of vegetable oils, also nuts, seeds, and so on. These types of fats are very beneficial for your body because they help you maintain brain function. You know, the neurons in your brain are enclosed with this type of envelope that is made up of fats. So basically, if you deprive your body of fats, your brain starves. Your brain function becomes diminished. Same goes for your internal organs that need this fat to engulf them and make them protected. Fat is also very important for all our bodily functions such as enzyme and hormone production and so forth and so forth. So don't be afraid of fats, just do the healthy ones. Alright, moving on to micronutrients. I will keep this part of the video very brief because, as I've already mentioned, I have elaborated in my blog post because micronutrients are so many. You see, there are so many types of minerals and vitamins that you have to consume in order to be healthy and ensure proper function of your bodily systems. So just to make it clear, micronutrients are, as I said, vitamins and minerals. These are vitamin A, K, the B's, D, and so on and so on. And the minerals are calcium, potassium, sodium, zinc, magnesium, and so on and so on. So, I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I want to say something in conclusion that I really want you to take from all of these things that I've already said. Just make sure that you are educated about nutrition and that you study your own body and you get to a point where you know what your body needs in terms of macronutrients and micronutrients, so that you can balance them out and eat balanced meals that are neither deprived of some of these groups, nor are they in excess, because nothing is too good when it's in excess, and even the worst things that you can consume are sometimes okay in small amounts. So just make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure that you read more and more about nutrition so that you're educated enough to make good choices. And also stay tuned with Petrichor Stories, because we've got you covered on health, wellness, mindfulness, and many other topics like that. Well, thank you once again. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button in the red below, and I'll see you soon. Petrichor Stories signing off. See ya!